Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First, let us introduce ourselves first. My name is Faza.
My name is Raditya.
My name is Miss Lee.
And my name is Fabi.
And welcome again to Spenducast. Today, we have a very special guest, Margaret from Peace School.
Hello, my name is Margaret, but I like to go by Meg. I just graduated from college, and I'm from Peace Corps. I'm here to teach English in Jombang, and I'm 22 years old. Thank you for having me on the podcast today.
First of all, one of the questions I would like to ask you, the one that has been really on my mind, what is one of the experience that has been in your mind? One of the most fascinating, one of the most that you will never forget?
That's a great question. So far, since I've been here in Indonesia, the experience that stuck with me the most has been my trip to Mount Penanggungan. I went there with some of my friends and my Bahasa Indonesia teacher, and we went there to hike. And I love hiking back in the States. I'll hike about once a month. And but when I got here, I didn't realize how hard the hike was gonna be. And we got to the first peak, and I was dying. And and then I looked up to the second peak, and I was like, wow, it's so steep. How am I gonna make it up? And we started up the peak, and one person in our group started getting very nervous because she was afraid of heights. And if you slipped or fell, you would fall a really long way. So it made sense that she was nervous.
I felt it.
You fell at Penanggungan. Oh.
I felt.
Well, I want to hear about that story after, but yeah, so she was getting nervous and to hike to the very top. And in the end, we all made it to the top, and just the satisfaction of getting to the top was so great, and the view was amazing. I was about an hour away from my host family, but I could make out the river, Rantas River, and I think I could see the town where I'd been. And just seeing where I had been that morning and then where I got to was just incredible. And to this day, it's the best and the hardest hike I've been on in my life. So I definitely want to hike more in Indonesia. But Faza, tell me about the time that you fell at Mount Penanggungan.
Yeah. So when I hiked Mount Penanggungan, I was with my friend. It was a group of 8 or 7. So during the hike up, we was very tired. I was left behind because I never experienced a trail like that before. It was full of sand and rocks. It's breaking my leg. I was so exhausted. So at the peak, we relieved ourselves. We cooked, we ate, we took a lot of pictures, and then on the way down, we kind of in a hurry. There's this trail called Relawan where you run through the trail to go down. Yeah, I kind of ran and then couldn't control my feet, and then I fell. There was like this cliff down. Yeah, I jumped from rock to rock because I was running. Yeah, and at one moment I missed the rock and then forgot to break. So I fell down. I rolled. Like bam, bam, bam. And then like 5 people were watching me and then asking, "Are you okay? I said, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm fine. My phone's fine. Everything's fine. I just kind of ripped my pants."
No!
I was fine anyway. No bleeding, no nothing. It's just a few scratch. Yeah, but it was fun. It makes my hobby. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little bit like you on the way down. Well, no, I was not as brave as you because on the way down, I scooched down on my butt. So I was afraid that if I stood up, I would fall down. So then by the time I got to the bottom, I was like covered in dust, and people were staring at me.
Yeah, because that's the safest ride. That's the safest way sliding to podcast.
No, but I think that's great that you ran down. Yeah.
Yeah. I fell twice actually.
When was the other time?
When my first time, no, I fell thrice. My first time hiking, it was in Mount Buta. It was a big mountain in Toulouse. I fell down, I think, during my way down too, and then in Mount Pananga and then Mount Punda. I was running down, again. I always run when I go down. I always run. When I run, I was touching my friends and then accidentally stepped on the edge of the cliff that was not very solid. The sand was falling down and then I fell too. I slided. But I was hanging on the path. There were two of my friends. I was hanging to the path and then there was sand and earth in my mouth and my nails. So I climbed back down. I almost died, I think. But God says go down unless you are gonna tire yourself. If you walk down, actually you are gonna tire yourself more because you spend more time holding your feet rather than going down. It's gonna take a long time. No. If you got tired, you're gonna get exhausted, and then soon you're gonna get hypothermia, and then you'll die anyway. So it's the worst way to die. Okay, speaking about hiking, what could be the difference between hiking in America and in Indonesia?
That's a good question. So, I think in America, a popular place to hike is the Rocky Mountains. And when I went to Colorado to visit my family, we would go hiking in the Rocky Mountains. And I think the biggest difference between those hikes and then the one I went on here was that the mountain trails are all very level. You aren't really climbing as much, you're just walking on a path. And then it spirals around and goes up and up. But here the trail just went like straight. So you have to climb up. And so that made it a lot more difficult. And I also went on a hike in Washington, D.C., and that involved, it's called scrambling. And so there are these really big boulders, and then you have to climb up the boulders and jump from boulder to boulder. And sometimes there's like a big drop in between. And that was a scary hike, and I enjoyed that one a lot. But still, Buduran is still the hardest. So
If you can choose where you want to be when you're with peaceful, where would you want to be?
wow, there's so many places I want to go in the world. I don't know. That's hard. I'm so happy to be here right now. Because when I applied to Peace Corps, I applied to serve where needed most. So that means that I just put in a general application and then they placed me where they needed a volunteer. And so they asked me if I wanted to go to Indonesia. And at the time, Indonesia wasn't really on my mind a lot. And so I did some research about it, and it just seemed so amazing. And I was like, yeah, I need to go there. That
It is
so
amazing.
fun. It is amazing, yeah. And since I've been here, I've been so surprised and overwhelmed by how kind everyone is. And also the food is amazing. Because back in the States, I'm vegetarian, and so I like eating a lot of tofu and rice and vegetables, and so I eat a lot of those same things here, but it's prepared so much better, so tasty. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just so happy with where I am right now. I wouldn't change it.
Yeah. Indonesia is amazing.
Yeah. and I'm excited to travel some if I can. Where have you guys been in Indonesia that you think I should go?
been out of the island.
Yeah.
One place that I think you would enjoy a lot is actually Aceh. So it's basically on the very north of the Sumatra island. And there's actually a lot of wildlife. I've actually been there and I've seen a whale shark, I think. I have seen a whale shark. It is very big. And the food there is also quite amazing. And one of the things that I'm really intrigued about it is in Aceh, when it is time to pray, everything closes. Every store, every hotel, every single thing closes because back then there was a flood in Aceh, and the only thing that was left standing was a mosque. So everybody there is really religious to the point that almost nobody leaves for prayers.
Okay, so I want to ask, while you're in Indonesia right now, is there anything or any place you want to do while you're in Indonesia?
To go to Borneo. I just want to go somewhere there so I can explore the rainforest. And I would love to see the wildlife. I don't know if I'm saying this right, but I know there are proboscis monkeys. They have really big noses. I would love to see those. I would also love to see orangutan. Yeah, I would just love. I've never been near so many rainforests before. I just think it's so beautiful and so many plants and animals. So, yeah, I'd love to go to Borneo.
If you are actually gonna go into the rainforest and meet monkeys, my very personal experience, almost died over here. So do not bring a backpack or anything that can trap the monkeys by smell or food because they will come. And I'm sure they will come. No, they will not steal food. Okay, so my personal experience is basically me and my family were going on a camp and a group of monkeys literally just circled us. Dropped down from the trees above and circled us. Yeah.
What type of monkey? How big were they?
The monkeys were basically a toddler size, usually toddler size, and one was way bigger, just a little bit more bigger than us. And I don't know why, but then there was one monkey that dropped down and I just talked to the leader of them and just let us go? I don't know.
The monkey talked to the leader of the monkeys. And they decided to leave.
Yeah, I don't know why that happened. But I guess that monkey spared us.
Oh, wait, so where was this?
This was actually in Sumatra, Medan. It was in Green Hill. Yeah. My family has gone there multiple times. It's been fun. But basically, this was the one that's the most dangerous because it is a protected forest. So there's a lot of animals. You can't really detect if something is coming up to you, if something is sneaking up on you. You can't really see that because there's just so much plants and such.
Wow. Wow, so okay, don't mess around with monkeys. I'll remember that. I think I heard one time that you aren't supposed to smile with your teeth at a monkey because that seems threatening. So I'll try not to smile at them.
Wait, but why? Why do they take it as a threat? We're just smiling.
I think we're showing our teeth. That's like we wanna.
Spike.
Yeah, we wanna bite
It's like
them.
gritting your teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, I just know that. Okay, great.
And usually, if you do want to drive off monkeys, grab a stick or anything that's kind of hard that let's take example a machete can do, a knife can do, a random cane can do. So basically, you want to smack it on the ground and make a lot of noise, and that will usually drive off the monkeys. And yeah, that will usually work. That is not what my dad did. He pulled out his machete and started pointing it at the at every monkey he saw.
Okay, hi Miss Meg. So I would like to ask you about what your experience is in teaching. What have you done in America? Or if you don't have any experience, what have you done in America that you can apply in Indonesia?
Yeah, so hi, Miss Lee. In America, I studied art at university, so I took ceramics, photography, and painting. Those were my three main areas of interest. And so after I applied and got into Peace Corps, I knew I needed to practice teaching. And so I set up a little class for teaching ceramics to a group of students. And so it wasn't long, it was a one-time thing, but I had taught 6 students for 3 hours, and I helped them learn how to use the wheel and how to make pinch pots. So in the end, each student had a bowl, and then they had a mug or a bowl or a plate, whatever they need on the wheel. And that experience was my first introduction into teaching. After that, I did a lot of one-on-one with people who wanted to learn about ceramics, and I really enjoyed that. I loved seeing them go from not knowing how to use the clay to being able to make a bowl, and just seeing how excited they would get motivated me to keep teaching. And then once I got here in Indonesia, I started pre-service training in living here, and we have had a lot of instruction on classroom practices and teaching, games we can play with the students, and all of that has been super helpful. And I had 1 week where I practiced teaching with Omar, another volunteer. We taught a lesson together, and so I taught it was an elementary through middle school, and we had a week of classes. The first day we taught about idioms, second day we taught about similes, and third day we taught about sarcasm, and then the fourth day we had a review of everything, so we played Jeopardy. And it was difficult. I get nervous every time I get in front of a class, and yeah, I have a question for you. What's your favorite part of teaching, and what motivates you to keep going reading?
Oh, that's a very good question. Yeah, so I have been at Spenducast for a year already. And yeah, I think the main thing is just my students. It sounds like a really cheesy answer, but I have never met students that were so excited about learning, especially learning English. And I think it has been a struggle for sure, like trying to understand the Indonesian school system and trying to work with the curriculum. But the way that Peace Corps trains you, and also just like having like intercultural exchange with them. So for example, we've done like Valentine's Day celebrations, Halloween celebrations. And so just like bringing that piece of home with them and sharing it to them has been super motivating for me to continue. So my next question is, what has been your biggest takeaway in teaching at an Indonesian school?
I think my biggest takeaway and the thing I work on every day is trying to not take myself seriously, because I think a struggle in some classrooms is that some students are afraid to speak up, and because they're afraid to make mistakes. And so I know that I think if I put myself out there and I try to make mistakes first, it can model for them that it's okay to make mistakes, and making mistakes is the best way to learn. And because I think I also have that problem, is where I'm afraid to make mistakes, and then I don't make them, and then I don't learn. And so, yeah, that's the biggest takeaway right now that I'm trying to work on, is just not taking myself too seriously, making mistakes, and yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, like modeling how your students can learn from you. I've definitely done that before. Like, I always tell my students I'm always learning Indonesian and they're learning English, so we're just all learning together.
So I wanted to ask how Peace Corps teaches learning new languages, like currently learning about Indonesia and other languages maybe.
Yeah, so you're asking me how Peace Corps teaches us Bahasa Indonesia, or... Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I have a great teacher right now. His name is Hafid. So every morning we meet at a volunteer's house and we learn for about 3.5 hours with him. And I like his teaching style. He reviews the topic we covered the day before with speaking practice, and then he will introduce the new topic, but very slowly. He hides the topic kind of, and he'll put like one word on the board, and he'll ask us, "What do you think this means?" And then we'll give him answers, and a lot of them will be wrong, and he'll laugh at our answers, and then he'll write out things on the board slowly, and he'll write out a chunk of words or just words, and then we'll do speaking practice, and then we'll play games, and yeah, so it's been really helpful. I am still learning a lot. I just know a little bit, but what we covered mostly so far is introductions and family and food, transportation, buying stuff in a market. Actually, one day our class activity was to go to a nearby market and buy things, and they didn't just want us to buy stuff, they wanted us to bargain. Yeah, and negotiate, yeah, and so that was really fun. It made me nervous, and I bargained for a water bottle, and it didn't work. But a couple of people in our group, a couple of people in our group did bargain pretty well, so yeah, it was fun, and it was a competition, because I have my language group, and then there's one more language group, and so we were seeing who could get the most stuff with 50,000 rupiah. Yeah. Provided by Peace Corps.
Yeah, that sounds so fun. I'm really glad Peace Corps is doing more like experiential like learning for you guys, like doing interviews, like going to the market, very like practical things to practice your language. So that's great to hear.
Yeah, what was your experience like, Michele?
Yeah, mine was different because we had a company that we contracted with. Their name was Alam Bahasa in Jogja. And so we like used the book a lot more, and they were more strict, like more, the method was like direct learning. So it was like a lot of vocab, and then like writing and reading. So a lot of like deciphering the language for ourselves. But I think because my training had a lot more like sessions, like we were a lot busier than Miss Meg's group. So they get to be like more relaxed and to like really enjoy learning the language instead of kind of being more strict with it and like cramming.
Yeah, I feel bad for you. I've been enjoying my language class a lot.
Yeah, like my group, I feel like was stressed learning the language because we feel like we didn't have enough time, but they seem to have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I have another question for you about language. So what has been the hardest part about learning Bahasa Indonesia, and what are your like opinions about the language, learning it, speaking it?
Yeah. Okay, I think one of the hardest parts right now for me is just understanding some words that we don't have a direct translation for, like young. I don't really understand where to use that word or why, and I think there are a couple others that I'm forgetting. That's a challenge, but yeah, when do you use the word young? Can you guys explain it to me?
What is it like?
Yang is just a word to put like adjective. Yeah. So you couple it up with adjective. Yang dingin, the cold. Yang panas, the hot. Yeah. Yeah. Yang terhormat, the honorable. So we just partner up with some adjective. Or prepositions. Any accessory. So example, if I say orang yang di kanan, person on the right. So it's just yeah.
That's helpful.
Yeah, because I think that Indonesian bahasa is one of the easiest languages. Yeah, because you can just make your own sentence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, example like saya kerja hari ini, I work today. Saya hari ini kerja, I work today is just the same thing.
Yeah.
You don't need a lot of words to make people understand. You just put up subject and then verb and then the adjective and then boom, a sentence.
Okay, wow, yeah. And also, I like to how there are no verb conjugations.
Verb.
Like for, yeah,
But
like,
it doesn't have like gender. No? For
Yeah, we just use dia.
which is this dia, itu, yeah, dia is him or her or she or he. And then ini is this, itu is that, kalian is you, a plural of you, kami is us, kita is us. Do you know the difference between kita and kami?
I think so. Okay, so kita is everyone.
Yeah.
Kami is us, but excluding the person you're talking to.
Yeah.
I remember.
Congratulations, good job.
That took me a while to learn.
Yeah. What is your favorite word in bahasa?
Ooh, I like chumi chumi.
Chumi chumi.
Yeah.
Chumi chumi.
It's just so
Literally
nice to
means
say.
yeah, squid.
Chumi chumi. Yeah, I like the word.
So you just like saying "tumi tumi"?
Chumi chumi. Yeah, I like the song. But I
And
also,
you,
I
can you
like
say the ABCs in bahasa?
Oh, okay. A,
Mm-hmm.
B,
B,
C,
T,
D,
D,
E,
E, F,
F,
G,
K, wait. Oh, H,
H,
E,
I,
J,
J,
J, K,
K,
L,
L,
M,
M,
N, O.
O,
Oh, sing this English. K,
A,
P,
T,
R,
R,
S,
S, T,
T, U,
U, V,
F,
yeah,
W,
W,
and
X,
it's just X.
yeah, X,
Z.
no, Y,
Yay.
yeah, Y is Y,
Oh, yay. Then
Z. Yeah, congratulations. What about numbers? Can you say 1 to 10?
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah! You learn so much, yeah? Do you like bahasa?
Yeah, I love it. I
What do
think
you know about it?
it's a really pretty language. I love the way it sounds. And yeah.
Yeah, I think bahasa is just like flat, you know, it doesn't really have any rhythm. Like other languages.
I don't know. I think it sounds nice. I think English doesn't sound as nice because there's so many.
Yeah, English is too complicated. English is too weird, you know, it's too absurd. Yeah, I hate English.
Wait, but you're like fluent in English though.
I'm just good at it,
But you need it.
but I hate it. Like, I hate my job, but I'm good at it.
Yeah, so I am curious. I think I learned a little bit about this already, but how did you guys learn English so well? Did you learn in school or playing games or like how?
Okay, so mostly for me, it started when I was very, very small. My mom always taught me English. Like she would do basic conversation like daily with me in English. But I think what really affects me is when I learn on the internet. Especially like the pandemics, I was on my phone like all the time. But like I was also learning English too.
The most, for me, it's literally, I don't know if this sounds bad or not, but basically, it's almost straight up isolation. So basically, the point when I was already good at Indonesia, my parents started to only give, they allowed me to watch TV endlessly, watch cartoons endlessly, but this one's catch. Only English. No other things, only English. Cartoons in English, speaking in English. So basically, if I wanted something, I needed English.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm not really mad at my parents because it isn't that. I'm glad they taught me English because it is a really useful skill, a useful language to know because it is beautiful. It is the international language. So basically, the effect it's had on me is basically in elementary school, before like fourth grade or fifth grade, I was already really good at English, but downside I wasn't really good at my own language.
Oh no, wow. So were a lot of your classmates speaking Bahasa Indonesia or were some of them speaking English like you?
So in my elementary school, no, nobody knew how to speak English. So instead of actually learning Bahasa, I learned more of the local words. And because of that, I learned how to adapt quickly. So if I just change spots or like change living places, I can like I guarantee in a year I can already keep up in a conversation.
Wow, quick learner. Amazing.
Yeah, for me it was when I graduated from kindergarten, I was too little to enter an elementary school. I needed to be 6 years old minimum to enter an elementary school, but I was like 5 when I graduated kindergarten. So I did a gap year. During that gap year, my mother taught me a lot of things, and then I watched a lot of TV. And I don't know why, but my father decided to put on a cable, yeah, for my TV. So I watched like SpongeBob in English, and then a lot of things from Disney Junior, and then Cartoon Network, yeah, Gumball,
Yeah, I love that.
and then SpongeBob, and then Blaze, that what? Yeah, Blaze, yeah, and then Bluey, and then Pocoyo, yeah. I used to watch Pocoyo when I was little. That one little kid in blue jumpsuit, yeah. I didn't realize my parents were teaching me English like, okay, but why do I need this? And then when I grow older, I think, oh yeah, I'm grateful to know this, but I hate it.
So it's like it's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah. When I was 10, I could like type a grammatically correct English, with a period, and then what, when do you put capital, when do you put comma, yeah. I kind of researched it, kind of did a research for the grammar of how I supposed to write it, and then I didn't learn anything because I love speaking it, but I hate writing it because speaking you say anything and people will understand. But writing, however, you need to follow a certain system, yeah. Certain system. This needs to be this. Oh, it's so complicated. I hate writing it. But I love writing in Bahasa English in the future.
Like, do you want to use it for a job or?
Yeah, I maybe will use my English as a plus in like my resume or something, and to learn a new language because I don't think there would be like I wanted to go to Germany, and for that I need to learn German, and a lot of the classes were in English, so yeah, English helped me a lot.
That's great. What about you? You know, you were nodding your head.
So I do actually plan to use English as a plus, but one of my main goals in life is actually to become a doctor. And to become a doctor, most of the terms you use is in English. So whether I like it or not, I'm going to be using it a lot. And I've actually been really interested in learning how to translate, and I really want to get good at it because it's just I love languages. I just like learning them because well, I like talking to people. So why would I not want to learn their own language? So it's really nice to just know other people's languages, especially when they expect you to not. So when they're talking in your native language and then you just speak and reply in English, in full-blown English, and they surprised. It's really fun to see the look on their face.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. And do you know what you want to do after school yet?
Well, I don't for sure know yet, but maybe, okay, I don't know much about like college, especially jurusan in Indonesia, but like maybe I want to use English for Buduran international. I don't know. It sounds kind of fun because like who knows? Maybe I could learn other language when I'm at it.
Well, yeah. No, I'm amazed by all three of you. And yeah, I think you guys will all do great things.
Yeah, I actually told my mom, I want to be a diplomat. How are you gonna be a diplomat? I'm gonna apply to the state ministry. I said, you're gonna work with the government? No. You're gonna work with the government? No. No working with the government. Yeah, she said, I supported you to be an architect, but a lawyer or working with the government? No. That costs a lot of money, and then there's more dirty jobs. I said, like, no. And then, yeah, you don't know the real work. Yeah, so, I actually wanted to be a diplomat. I think it's fun, yeah. I want to be maybe a Secretary of State, something, I don't know. But, yeah, my mom doesn't support me to be a diplomat, so I should think I am. At least, but if I can't go to college, in abroad. If I can study abroad, I'm just gonna study here because there's good universities here. Yeah, like people sometimes overrate the colleges overseas. Like the colleges in England are better, in America are better, but there's some colleges in Indonesia that are also good and but let's just call it good and perfect. Yeah, prestigious, yeah. As ITB and the University of Indonesia and then UNER, yeah. Parahyangan, there's a lot of universities that are perfect and prestigious and good. And I don't think I need to study abroad to actually make my dream come true. I just need to work abroad. My education here matters, but the pay, yeah. If you're talking about the pay, I will not be working here if I want to make my dream come true. But if I need to, believe I can't, forced to work here to live my life, to get a living.
Another question I'd like to ask you, Ms. May, is do you plan on doing any travel outside of Indonesia?
I don't know what my 2 years has to hold and how much time I'll have, but if I can, I would love to go to Vietnam. I want to go to Hanoi because my best friend from college is from there, and she's currently in the United States for now. I think she's planning to go to grad school. Actually, yeah, she had recent bad news because she thought she was going to continue working at her job, but then her company changed its rules along with a lot of the U.S. and so she can't have her work visa anymore because it costs so much for her company to pay for her to stay. And so she can't continue at her job, so her choices are either going back to Vietnam or going to grad school and getting a student visa. And so I think right now her main plan is to go to grad school. So that means that I won't see her when I go to Vietnam, but that also means it's a good thing when she gets to go to grad school, and I know she wants to do that. But her parents live in Hanoi, and so she said, I met her parents at the end of the semester, and they said I could stay with them. So that would be really great. It looks really beautiful. I would love to go visit. And I don't know Vietnamese right now. And her parents don't speak any English, so if I go, I definitely need to learn some.
I can teach you.
Okay. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, we'll all be polyglots by the end of this.
Wow. Yeah, are there any places that you want to go while you're here outside of Indonesia?
Next year I'm actually going to Thailand and Vietnam during Ramadan, so I'm really looking forward to that. And then I'm going to go to Singapore just for a little bit because one of my favorite comedians is playing in Singapore. So I'm excited to go see him. And that's pretty much it. I'm not like, well, I'd like to go to Vietnam because that's the place where my parents were born, but I think Indonesia has so many beautiful tourist places and nature, so I'm not too motivated to travel much outside because there's still so much in Indonesia I would love to go see. Especially in like Jawa and we have volunteers in NTT that I would like to go see, and there's Sumatra, Kalimantan, so much like rich, diverse culture that it feels like we're going to a different country with how many islands there are in Indonesia.
Oh, in Thailand, are you going to see Mudang?
Oh, I have not thought about that. I would love to see Budang. I should put that on the list. But yeah.
Yeah, do you all know about Mudang?
The pygmy hippo. He's like a pygmy.
That's a little baby pygmy hippo.
Yeah.
And he's so cute. And his name in English means bouncy pork. Yeah, so adorable. But that's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you. Do you guys have any recommendations besides Aceh for this May to visit in Indonesia?
Close by too would be awesome.
Maybe you should try visit Jogja or Bandung, then maybe the beaches in Trenggalek or Tulungagung, that's near. Try to go to maybe Trawas, Tretes, or Pacitan. There's an explore place there. You can just enjoy the breeze. Yeah, it's a high place up there. It's like the hills, and then there's a lot of mountains down south. You can go to Malang, go to Buduran, you can go to Bali, obviously. You can go to Lombok. You can go to Batam. There's a lot of places. Yeah.
Wow, yeah. So many options.
So many options.
Yeah. A lot of people have asked me if I've been to Bali already, and I told them no, not yet. And they're so
Have you been to Jakarta?
No, not yet.
Well, you should.
You should try to go to Jakarta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of you should.
Ooh.
We'll go together.
Try to go when it's holiday time because it's a lot quieter. When you visit at like work time, traffic is crazy.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. You should go when people like it's the mudik season, you know, when it's Eid. Yeah, a lot of people go out of Jakarta, and then you can like go there and then just enjoy it with less traffic.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, but maybe 2 days before work begins again, it starts to fill in with traffic again. So you gotta be quick in Jakarta.
Very important.
Yeah. When I was in Jakarta, my train was at 8 and my uncle told me you have to go at 6. Why? There's this rule called Kunjungan where certain planes cannot go to certain roads. Yeah, that rule is weird, but yeah, if it works. And if I go at 6 or later, I will be stuck in traffic and will not make it for the train. Yeah, Jakarta is crazy.
Wow. Okay, well, thank you for all those tips. I also think that we should take a hiking trip all together.
Yeah, where? Yeah, we got it. I will be waiting. Yeah, I will be waiting.
On just tomorrow?
And just tomorrow, I think that is in, I forgot, where is it?
It's south of here, or southwest. A little bit.
Southwest.
Yeah.
So that concludes our episode today. Miss Matt, thank you for coming. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, and I look forward to our hiking trip.
Yeah. I will wait for your invitation.
Yeah, let's go.
So that concludes our episode today, and we will see you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.